Okay, we're going to try this again. So now I have this PacDrive board, and here's my solenoid driver board. So the PacDrive board can only support 500 milliamps, which is not enough to drive these solenoids that drain 2.5 amps. But these MOSFETs can handle 2.5 amps easy. So what I have here is this PacDrive is connected to the Minix box via USB, and I've already modified pin name to be able to control the PacDrive board and the Ultimate I/O simultaneously. So I believe it's not working now because the PacDrive board doesn't have a ground. On the instructions on Ultimarc's site, it says it's supposed to use the ground for the USB cable, which isn't going to work in this case because we have an external power source. So that purple wire going into this is 5 volts from the an external power supply. So I believe that this ground here needs to connect to the ground on the PacDrive. However, there is no connector for ground for the PacDrive. I guess they're not assuming that you're ever going to need ground on that. So after some research, I determined that I'm pretty sure this PacDrive board needs to be grounded to work. So I can use this metal connector as the ground, and I'm going to try that right now. So you can see this yellow wire here is connected to the ground of the from the external power supply, the 5-volt power supply. So I'm just going to touch it and see if these drivers work. I have pin name in test mode here, solenoid driver test. Sounds pretty good. I think it's working. It works. Okay, so the reason I had to do this is the Ultimate I/O board. I was just using the Ultimate I/O board's outputs to control this thing, but the problem is the Ultimate I/O board supports LED dimming, and I didn't think that was going to be a problem because I thought I could just disable the dimming functionality on the Ultimate I/O board, which I did, and it mostly worked. But the problem is there are still some cases where LED dimming can happen. For example, if the USB cable gets disconnected from the Ultimate I/O board, or you unplug the USB cable, or there's probably some other cases too that dimming can be activated, and that's a major problem because there's some concept I don't understand called injection coil. Apparently, when you send these different frequencies to do to do the dimming for the LEDs, when you send those kind of frequencies to a driver board like this, it can cause the coils to somehow draw mass amounts of current and cause damage, cause problems. And I think I blew out an Ultimate I/O board because of that. I'm pretty sure that's the case because the chip that drives the outputs on the Ultimate I/O board got hot after it went bad. So I'm pretty sure that's what caused it. So now I have this $30 board driving the solenoids, and it's totally separate from the Ultimate I/O, so there shouldn't be any chance of me blowing out another Ultimate I/O, an $80 Ultimate I/O. So I think this is going to do it. So I will post a link to the PinMame source code, and we'll go from there. Now I just need to hook up the Ultimate I/O again and reconnect everything nice and neat, and I think we should be done.